Hi, Mark here from the Tangibound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangibound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangibound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangiboundNetwork.com and see if Tangibound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swabs it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a spurner. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's going on? This is Salty Language, episode 329.
The sexiest podcast on the network. We need like a sexy music stinger after we say that.
We need something there, right?
You know, like a guitar, not guitar, like a saxophone solo.
Right. Something very sensual. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of I think it's Dan Lawler, former enthusiast guest. I think he has a tweet that's something along those lines that, like, in the 80s, people couldn't have sex until there was a saxophone solo or something like that. Yeah, it's so true.
It's very accurate.
Yeah, like in every movie, there was some crazy saxophone solo.
I mean, you know, if there's an extended sax solo, I just finish in my pants.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like muscle memory.
Right. Damn it, I can't do it. I was gonna say it must make school concerts awkward. Couldn't do it without laughing at it. I know that's terrible, but yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Local man banned from talent show.
Right. Again.
There's too much 80s saxophone, I swear.
Oh man, here's somewhere they show a clip of Bill Clinton when he was on MTV or on Arsenio playing the sax. Oh jeez.
Oh jeez. Oh god. Involuntary.
Man.
That'd be a terrible superpower.
Yeah. Like, there's an episode of Family Guy where Quagmire tells Peter a joke, and he laughs and then shits himself. So every time he hears the joke, he shits himself. So Joe and Quagmire keep like texting him or calling him, or they have Freddy Krueger go into his dream and tell him the joke.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, So I'm kind of picturing the same thing here. Just me sending, figuring out various ways I can get you to hear a sax solo.
Like you bring back the whole. You remember callback songs?
Yes.
Yeah. Yours is a saxophone solo.
Yeah. Oh, Brian left me a voicemail. And careen into a ditch.
Goddamn callback songs.
Oh,
Did the music industry get any lower than that?
That was pretty terrible. Yeah.
Like, instead of listening to your phone ring, I get to hear this sweet jam for 2 seconds.
Right.
And somebody paid for this.
My favorite was always with like ringtones and shit when people would listen to the song and then miss the call.
Yeah.
Because they were, listening to the song.
Like, this is about jail.
Yeah. You're like, well, I get that, but...
Does anyone really use songs for ringtones anymore? I haven't heard any, like an actual song as a ringtone in a long time.
Yeah, every once in a while you hear one, but it's pretty rare now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I think... Android, I think, has had the ability forever. And I know in the new iOS, I think Apple, or the last one, Apple put it in to where you can create your own ringtones.
Oh.
So,
because I know, like, this time of year, I always dust off, Mr. Grinch.
Yeah, right.
But I typically just stick with the standard ones anymore.
Yeah. That's what mine's on quiet most of the time anyway, but I just have the classic, generic phone ring on mine.
Right.
So.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
The only downside to that is that, if it rings in public, everyone's like grabbing their phone.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
It is something. I'm going to have to start paying attention to that. 'Cause I remember when ringtones were all the rage.
Yeah, seriously.
Be like, you call somebody or whatever, or you text somebody and be like, you got text. You're like, oh, God, your phone is awful.
Yeah.
I always hated that shit.
Especially, yeah, because it was never like a song you'd like or something. It's always some obnoxious song, It's like,
no, I'm just talking about the ones that was just like a guy yelling, you got text!
Oh, God, those, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were
very
annoying.
Yeah.
Very annoying. It's funny because those were like the first microtransactions.
Yeah, really. We can talk about that if you want.
Yeah.
Battlefront 2 debacle on Reddit.
Fully planned on talking about it.
Yeah. Well, you want to just get into it now since it's kind of coming up? Microtransactions?
Sure, why not? Yeah, might as well.
Why not? Battlefront 2 was released. Not the classic one, but the new one.
Right.
And, oh boy, did they take some heavy fire on Reddit.
They certainly did. Not just Reddit, everywhere.
Well, yeah. I think it all stemmed from Reddit.
It did, yeah, but like Twitter was pretty harsh on them too, so yeah.
From what I understand, it's the most downvoted comment in history.
Yes. By a lot. Not by a small margin. It's by a huge margin.
Yeah, actually, I just pulled up an article about it, and they have a graph.
Yeah.
And it's many, 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 many times over the former number one comment.
Yeah.
Which is also from EA, it looks like.
I'm not surprised.
Or on the EA subreddit, rather.
I'm not surprised. They've had some significant missteps in the past. Like, I don't know if you remember where they had it to where they had certain weapons that were only available via like cash purchase, basically.
Yeah.
Or, and it was like, oh, come on, what are you doing here? It's like people are getting better weapons than the ones actually playing the game. That's bull, Like, make them available to everybody.
That's kind of what they got into shit for here. Because it seemed, from what I understand, because I'll be honest, I didn't like deep dive into the story because I didn't give two shits really.
Right.
I just was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Stupid EA. That's basically how I felt about it.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, it was like the special characters you can unlock, you have to unlock by playing the game.
Right, like Luke and Darth Vader, that kind of character.
Yeah.
The characters everybody wants.
Everybody, or you can just drop some cash.
Right.
Right.
Which a lot of games do nowadays. There are a lot of games, like even the Magic the Gathering game, instead of unlocking one card at a time to build decks and everything, you can just flap down money and buy all the cards, basically.
Right.
You know, I never did it because I was like, no, that's half the fun of the game is playing through it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, there's some of those that enjoyed playing the game. There's some of those that, you know, fired up the Game Genie every time I played the game.
And then there's some of us that did both.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
Like situationally, I can eat God mode right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like every time I play.
So yeah, from what I also read, is I got a little article here that they are turning off the money making feature, although they did say temporarily.
Yeah, they're going to adjust it and bring it back, I'm sure, because they're not going to miss a chance. They're not going to miss a chance at microtransactions. That would just be stupid as a company, because everyone is used to that model now. Every game now has some sort of in-game content, whether it's downloadable content or character skins or, you know, stuff like that, weapons, whatever it is. Every game just about has that stuff now. So people are already of the mindset that it's there and it's fine. So, you know, and plus, I mean, EA is going to take a look at Grand Theft Auto, which has made just ungodly amounts of money from their DLC stuff, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, with EA, you know, the problem was, you know, the one example I read was a guy wrote to him and basically said that his kid gets like an hour a day to play games. And he's like, you know, my kid would have to spend 40 days trying to get Luke or Vader or whoever, you know, and you would have to keep all the credits that you earn. You wouldn't be able to use them on gear and stuff on your character in the meantime. You'd just be grinding to get whatever.
Right.
And a lot of people are like, boo, boo, you know. And Fluffy Bunny Ash and I were talking about this the other night, and I totally agree with her. It's like, that's the way games always were. Remember? You used to have to play to a certain point to unlock another character or whatever. Bro.
Do you remember when we were children and we would patrol the same 6 squares looking for fucking metal slimes?
Oh, for sure, dude. Well, look
at hours.
Look at anybody who's played Diablo has done this. You know, or World of Warcraft, where you do the same thing over and over and over because you're trying to, you know, get a certain thing or a person or a dungeon that you know, that's a rare one or a book. You know, this is all part of gaming. That's what most of us enjoy about gaming to some extent, is that you have that feeling of accomplishment when you get to that point. You're like, yeah, I did it, you know? Like, do you remember the first time you beat a metal slime?
When it didn't run away from me?
Yeah, exactly. And you were like, holy shit. Or a gold man, something like, you know, when those were hard to find and the big thing, you know, or, you know, whatever. There's always been games where once you beat a character, you know, then you have the option of, you know, using that character, like in the start menu or something that you didn't have before. I think the mistake here that they really made was, I think they probably priced it too high, you know?
Right.
But I was telling Ashley, I was like, I really think what they should do is just give you all the characters from the beginning, but make you level them up. Like Luke doesn't have crazy godlike powers and Vader isn't as great originally. You have to level them up to get to that.
So like you start off with like whiny bitch moisture farm Luke.
Basically, yeah.
And you start off with laying in a pool of lava with no legs and half an arm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Vader.
And you have to find a skateboard or something, yeah.
Yeah, he's got to hobble around. Yeah, exactly. Find the dark side longboard.
Right. But I think that would kind of...
Although I think a torso on a skateboard with a lightsaber would be pretty badass.
It would be pretty cool, yeah. I mean, he's just cutting people down at the knee, you know?
Yep, exactly.
You don't even see him coming, you know? Like, what's that sound? Wait. Was the sound you were making him breathing or the skateboard wheels?
He's not equipped with his breathing shit.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
He's just a burn victim with a lightsaber and a skateboard.
Oh, that sounds like a great movie. Yeah, that sounds like a great movie, a burn victim with a lightsaber.
Right.
You know, but I think then nobody could bitch that they can't play as Luke or Vader or whatever. You have them right there from the beginning. Problem solved. But they're not strong. Just like every shooter that's out there, you have to level your guys up.
Well, I mean, I played Battlefront, the Redux reboot or whatever, a little bit of Logan, and I seem to remember, like, the special characters are there, but they only came out on the map every once in a while. You had to be at that certain spawn point to grab them, and then you became them.
Yes, for a very short time.
Right. So what's the deal? I mean, why not just have the same system?
I think they have. I haven't played the game, so I can't tell you. But I think they have like some different game modes where you could probably maybe actually use those characters. I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, the only part that sucked about that that way is, first of all, people were spawn camping. Like, once they know where that spot is, they'll just stand there.
For sure.
You know, which sucks. Because
it should be like a random drop throughout the map. It shouldn't be a set location.
Yeah, I played a bunch of games, and I think I got to use Luke twice and Vader once, and you know, it was all sorts of fun to use them. But again, it's for a very short time. But it was really helpful. You know, I ran around with Luke and basically cleared paths for my guys to do the objectives. You know, because I'm nearly unstoppable.
Ridiculously fast.
So powerful. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, so I don't know. It's, like I said, Ashley and I were talking about this. Like, when I first read this, I was like, oh, EA assholes, what are you doing? You know, and then when I was reading more into it, I was kind of like, I don't have a huge problem with this. Like I said, maybe 40 hours is a little ridiculous, but I don't know. I guess it depends on how many characters there are to unlock. You know, if there's only 2 or 4, that gives you replayability. If there was like 10, I'd be like, man, I don't know about this.
Right.
You know, or at least maybe make it tiered, somehow. Like, at 10 hours or 20 hours, you get this character. At this many hours, you get this,
Right.
I don't know. Do you have any issue with it?
EA always has, like, there's always part of me with EA, because they always come across as just like, we want all the money.
Yeah, you're totally right. Right.
And that always kind of bothers me, and I think that's kind of why they took a lot of heat too, is because I don't think I'm the only one that has that opinion about them.
No, you're not. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say. If I had more info, I would give you a better opinion.
Yeah, but if you had the game, you wouldn't buy the characters. You'd grind it out, right?
I'd grind it out because that's what I do.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Is it's like, in my head, it's kind of almost like people want it now. They don't want to have to do the work for it. They just want it. And that's why I said my version would kind of fix that. Like, okay, here's Luke. He's just not very powerful. Like Vader's got a force push or whatever, or his force choke, but it's not, like, you're probably not going to kill somebody with it. It's going to be like a middle of the match in wrestling sleeper hold. The guy's not going to win with it, but, it still does some damage.
So I think what we're trying to say is that at least a generation below us, y'all little bitches. Because Brian, we grind.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is if the game's fun to play, why would you care if you have to keep playing?
Yeah, exactly.
It? Like Ashley said, she's like, how many times, like, if you and I were sitting down to play this game on, in the past, like on an average Friday night, how many hours are we going to play this thing? 5-6 hours? Right?
Yeah, probably.
We'll probably play from like 8 or 9 until like 2 in the morning.
Depends on how much we're drinking.
Yeah, right? So it's like, if you put that kind of time into it, like she said, that's only 8 days. So it's basically a week per character. That's not terrible.
Right.
So, it'll suck for the people who only put in an hour at a time, or for those who don't have time to play games very often that really want to play with those characters. But it's like, I can only play like, once a week or something like that.
Right.
And,
So I think what you're saying is, if you all drop money on your special characters, you little bitches.
I kind of feel that way.
Because when Brian and I grind out, you have your special characters you just be Ewoks. We be AT-ATs. Because grind.
mean, I've played games in the past where you could basically circumvent, grinding it out and just buy the stuff. And I've never had a want to do it,
Right.
I just, like I said, in various shooters, there's been where you could basically like go ahead and buy, you could buy like a pack that would level your guy up, or this gun, it would give you a better gun or whatever. And, it's like, okay. I don't.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, I play the WWE, I forgot what it's called. It's the, basically Puzzle Quest, but it's WWE
okay.
one.
Let's call it Wrestle Quest.
Okay. So I'm playing Wrestle Quest, and it has a lot of options where you can buy things where you get tokens that can upgrade your guys, or various things you need to like take them from like bronze to silver, that kind of stuff. And it's like, I'm not buying any of that. You can buy characters once in a while too. I did do that once because they had a thing where it was like Daniel Bryan and a whole bunch of side goodies for like $5.
Right.
And Daniel Bryan's a pretty good character in the game, so I was like, I'll take that.
On a side note, when I said WrestleQuest,
yeah,
all I want to play now
is WrestleQuest.
Is a wrestling-based role-playing game, like a tabletop D&D style wrestling game called WrestleQuest.
That would probably be the worst game. Do you remember back in the day? My nephew had the WWE board game. Do you remember that?
No, I do not remember this.
Yeah, never mind then. Okay.
Is it like Monopoly with chokeholds?
I honestly don't remember how you play the game at all, but I remember, it just having like these big cards of the wrestlers, and I think you had these little tokens that didn't look like guys. They were just some generic game piece that I think you put in the ring or something like that to, be your character. I have no idea from that. I couldn't tell you what the game was.
Was it like shoot the legs and ladders?
I don't think so. So. That's a much different game.
Oh, okay.
Shoot the leg. Yeah. Anyway, we should probably move on, but that was, yeah.
That was something to watch.
It certainly blew up because I wasn't paying any attention to it. And then I was like, geez, why is everybody on Twitter just about making, and it was, there were like 2 hashtags it was trending under, and I was like, what the hell? So I started looking into it, and I was like, yep, somebody got their panties in a twist, and, and kaboom, because internet. So, yeah.
Exactly.
And I'll bet whatever it is the EA does to fix it won't be good enough.
Well, no, that's 100% accurate.
Be like, it's still too expensive. Like, well, we just made it to where all you have to do is, okay to buy the character. It's free.
Yeah, harump.
It should just download into my queue.
I am thinking about maybe this holiday season with, the general better prices you get of finally upgrading to a current generation video gaming type platform.
Nice.
Because I've been firing up the old Xbox 360 lately, and I've been pirating the shit out of things. Jumping decks and stabbing people, but
and you're not meaning like stealing things. You're meaning like playing Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah, playing Black Flag.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been in the mood for a shooter, and maybe I want to grind one out on that Battlefront. Maybe, I don't know.
Right.
Although Logan's got the newest Call of Duty, the World War II.
Yeah.
He says it's amazing. Mm-hmm. So it sounds very World at War from what he's been telling me.
Yeah, that's kind of what I read. I read that the reenactment of Normandy is garbage, though.
Oh. They just never got it right since
Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor.
Yep. And that's actually the article I read talked about how Medal of Honor nailed it. And if anybody out there hasn't played that, I don't know if there's footage on YouTube of it or anything, but it seriously was crazy how just overwhelming that was.
Yes.
Because there's just shit going on all around you and you're just trying to stay alive.
Well, to be fair, though, back then, that was the first game that really did that to you.
Medal of Honor was a good series, though, too. I mean,
but now I just feel like kids these days, little bitches these days, that they're just completely adjusted to that.
Yeah.
Like, we were like, Jesus Christ!
You know? Yeah, you got a point, you know? Cause that's true, cause there were a lot of things that were like first time deals when we were kids. Like, I remember the year Madden put in the cone, the vision cone, to where basically, if you tried to throw a ball outside of your quarterback's vision cone, which was basically a triangle that, you know, the vanishing point would be his head, essentially. If you tried to throw outside of that, your percentage decreased. So you literally had to turn your quarterback, you know, to make a better throw, which is, you know, realistic, but not what a lot of people wanted.
Right.
Didn't go over so well. And, you know, there's been hits and misses like that. But then, remember when we played that 2K Sports football game? The one that was had first person perspective in it? That was crazy fun.
Yeah, it was a great time. Because
you couldn't see anything outside of actually where you would look, you know, in a helmet. You know, you couldn't see the whole field around you.
Yeah.
You know, which was weird and
something so satisfying about sacking the quarterback playing that.
There was, you're right. Or playing quarterback. That was a lot of fun. I remember we had, you know, using, well, I mean, I know a lot of people may not like it, but Michael Vick was like, you know, crazy good in that game because you could get the hell out of Dodge.
You could throw the ball, you could run the ball.
Yeah.
And there was no mini games like beating up dogs like Street Fighter, beating up a car or anything. Right. That'd be a terrible mini game.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like those kind of things were really, especially to us, they were really innovative, you know, and same with like Medal of Honor. Like you said, I remember when they first announced that they were going to put that in and I was like, ooh, that's an interesting undertaking. And I know you got the game and then I borrowed it from you and I was like, holy shit, dude.
Yeah, you know? Right.
Cause it really was. It was a real clusterfuck to the senses, but in the best way.
Yeah, you know? Exactly.
So.
Getting to the ass of that beer. It's just, I mean, I'm not a quitter.
Right.
I'm gonna grind this beer out.
You got eat that beer like groceries, Tony.
Fuck yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I've been kind of in the mood to play a shooter, and you know,
I have too.
And unfortunately, because I don't have I'm not paying for an online account right now. I can't go online and shoot people in the face like I want to.
Right. Yeah, I've been kind of feeling that way too, and same thing. I don't have any of the online whatnots, and I was like, God, you know, it's like I kind of wish I still had like what was it, Black Ops? Was it Black Ops or Black Ops 2 that had like bots you could play against and shit?
I don't remember.
Like I wish I had that because at least then I could play, you know, a shooter. I mean, I guess I could pull out like Borderlands. You know, that's kind of a shooter, you know, and you don't have to be online to play it. But yeah, and it's like I don't remember I have one of the Halo games on my Xbox, but again, you know, you gotta have online hookup for that.
Right. Well, that's playing the story.
Oh yeah, I guess there's that. I could play the story, but yeah. I kind of miss that though.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. That kind of game. All right, let's move on from video games. I'm sure we bored the shit out of everyone. Probably.
So you get for listening to this goddamn program.
That's right.
That's right. Oh, by the way, I'm Tony.
I'm Brian. At some point, we introduced
like
ourselves.
20 minutes into the show.
Yeah, that's fine. So I guess how was your week? I guess we'll go that route.
It was a week. It was a week. It was. We had some stuff and some things. I got a nice little story I had with my parents, Brian.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't give a fuck it. It's not going to make our Q to W list of places to go to. So, so my parents were at, we're going local here. We're at Chubby's.
Yeah.
Right. They'd never been there before.
Okay.
They're like, oh, well, you know, we heard good things. So we stopped on in, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And, they're sitting at the bar and my stepdad, he goes to the bathroom. And he comes back out. And he just goes, yeah, get the bill. We're leaving and we're never coming back. And my mom's like, what's going on? She's like, he's like, yeah, I was in the bathroom and there was a guy in there offered me $10 for a blowjob. or was asking, or a blowjob for $10.
Right.
Rather.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, huh?
Well, I'm sure that's not the place's policy, though.
Well, yeah.
I mean, although, in fairness, I'd rather have that person in the bathroom than the assholes that you're expected to tip for giving you soap. You know?
Yeah, at least suck my dick.
Yeah. Then I'll gladly tip you.
Like, jeez. Here's a quota. Don't spend it all in one place.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there you go. The old bathroom proposition.
Wow. That's something I've never had happen. So that's,
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What an experience.
I know, right? Which, I have other, stories about that place, but I won't get into it because whatever. I'll tell you after show, Brian.
All right.
Yeah, because I've already disparaged him enough.
I'm just picturing Chuck's Yelp review.
That would be the best Yelp review.
Well, I mean, it could be better because had he accepted,
well, that's true.
Very accommodating.
2.5 stars, too much teeth.
Right. 4 stars. Did not expect a Blumpkin.
Hilarious.
Oh man. Wow.
But it's also today's the first day my Genie of Hobie is working her new job, which is actually weird because it's like I gotta fall asleep all by my lonesome.
Yeah.
That's always weird for me.
Mm-hmm.
But
I have a tip to help you with that. Booze.
Yeah. Well, I have an awful stout here.
Yeah. No, just take a bottle of liquor to bed with you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Get in bed first, and then just hammer the bottle of liquor.
There you go.
It'll be like your Basil Hayden's night.
Yeah, oh God, that was a terrible idea. Sure was a fun night, though.
Yeah.
All I need to do is hop in the Jeep with $10. That'll help me fall asleep.
Oh man, see, that would have been so much fun. Like, Chuck comes out and you'd be like, "Did you get his number?" Like
exactly.
Or I'll be right back. Chuck, can I borrow $10?
Oh, dude, I can't wait to see him.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't wait to see him just to be, just to, let all the comments fly.
Oh, for sure. That's the best part of it. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. And knowing him, he'll take it well, cause.
Yeah. I like the idea of a Yelp review. That's hilarious.
Right. Ooh, man, my eyes watering now. Ooh. All right.
Ooh, indeed. I guess since I'm on the subject of crazy, odd people, the other, what was it? It had to be last weekend. Doesn't matter. I was working. And I had to stop at this gas station. Well, because I had time in between. I had 2 runs. Doing my side gig as like chauffeur business.
Right.
And so I was in between runs, and I'm like, well, I'm going to stop at this gas station. And it was late as fuck. It was the night I didn't get home till like 3 a.m. Oh, nice. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to grab like a Monster or something because it's it's a Speedway. I don't trust their coffee. I'm just that guy. Sorry, people out there. But
you did get a hot dog though, right?
Oh, of course, and a slice of pizza.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah. No, but I'm in line at this, and it's not too far from the Detroit airport, so it's not the greatest of areas. It's one of the suburbs of Detroit I'm in.
Yeah.
And this fucking Speedway is packed, and here I am in my nice suit and shit, standing in line, and as I'm pulling in, though, there's this dude in front of me that it looks like he's steer wrestling the gas pump. He looks like an angry man.
All right.
Like slamming shit, and he goes flying in the Speedway, and that's, I came in after him. And he's all but yelling at the woman because it's like not pumping gas or something.
Okay.
And then she's like, just try this, sir. And she runs the curtains and he leaves. Still standing in line. Now, in front of me is a little older black woman in scrubs, and in front of her is some dude that looks like he just crawled out of a dumpster.
Okay.
And he's got like
$10 in his hand.
Yeah. he's like a small white dude, like long hair, big beard. He just looks like he crawled out of a dumpster.
Yeah.
And he just won't stop talking to this woman about, man, I used to spend so much money on weed. Let me tell you, it's just over and over about weed.
Right.
Spent so much money on weed, and he's buying like lottery tickets. And in the middle of him buying lottery tickets, here comes gas pump guy again.
Yeah.
And he just cuts the dude in front of him off, demanding his money back because the fucking pump isn't pumping his fucking gas.
Wow.
Which you could tell, there was only one person working that I could tell, and she looks completely frazzled.
Yeah.
You know? Gives him his money, he stomps off. Weed Man and this woman are still talking about how he spent so much money on weed.
Sure.
And then he takes forever to cash out because he's buying lotto tickets, he's buying cigarettes, all the things that take forever to do.
Yeah.
While the line is just piling up behind us, right?
Right.
Now, when I walked in, there was these two young kids, and I'm talking like maybe 12 or 14, and it's damn near midnight. So I'm like, oh, this little old lady in the scrubs, this must be her kids or grandkids or whatever.
Yeah.
Nah, completely separate people. Completely separate kids. And they both have slushies, and they're, in line behind me drinking their slushies, bullshitting. When this little haggard-looking tweaker woman walks in, and she just starts commenting on her Slurpees. Oh man, is that Blue Raz and Sprite and this and that? I'm a Slurpee expert. I get those all the time. And the kids are just like fucking ignoring her.
Right.
And then she just goes crazy. She's like, fuck you guys. What is it? Cause I'm a little white lady. You're not talking to me? Fuck you. It was insane.
Wow. Yeah, that's a slight overreaction.
This gas station was crazy.
I kind of want to just go sit at this gas station for a while.
Yeah, I was just like, and I'm just like, get these fucking people out in front of me, so I can pay and get out of here.
Right, yeah.
Because I'm feeling someone's getting stabbed.
Right.
You know?
This is the kind of reason why U-scans are a blessing a lot of times.
Yes.
Not that gas stations have them, but you know what I'm saying. That's why a lot of times
I hear you.
I'll be at a grocery store and something like that will be going on. I'll be like, oh look, open U-scan, peace out.
Yeah, it was just madness and mind blowing. Right. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah. You're like, can I just throw $3 at you and take my drink?
Well, yeah, and I finally she gets, and I give her some cash. And weird, she doesn't have the proper change in her drawer, so then she's frantically searching for a key.
Oh my god!
To unlock the change machine.
Right.
It's just like I just was like, good luck tonight. you know?
Right. Ugh.
The fucking place was crazy, man.
Yeah. I mean, I worked at a gas station for like 2 weeks, and the craziest thing I saw was one night, a guy came up and asked for a Snickers. And he was getting gas. So, Snickers plus the price of gas. And I was like, yeah, okay, it's this much. Well, then some older guy, like this dude's probably in his 20s, there's some guy who's probably in his 40s or 50s, something started and they just start jawing at each other. And the younger guy's got like two more dudes in the car with him. And I'm standing there and I'm kind of like, I'm on the microphone and I'm like, hey, like enough of this shit, basically.
You didn't just click the button and be like, World Star!
No.
World Star!
No. This is a little bit before that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was pretty crazy because, like, I really thought the other two guys got out of the car. I thought they were going to just destroy this other guy because he just wouldn't shut up. And then when he finally got to a point to where, and I can't remember what it was now. Whatever it was, he was right. But it's like, when you see three dudes get out of a car, shut the fuck up, like for your own safety. And finally I'm like, hey, I'm calling the cops, and, usually there was a cop up at the store, so it probably wouldn't have taken one very long. And then the guys got in the car and they just took off. Well, they left the Snickers bar, so I got free Snickers bar.
Fucking bonus.
But I got the guy's attention and I called him up to the front and I was like, you should not do that, and maybe be careful on your way home because these guys may just wait for you somewhere.
Hey, I got a tip for you. Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah. Look, I've been one to shoot my mouth off at times too, but something like that, man, I would have been like, yeah, well, whatever, we're cool, because numbers, if nothing else, doesn't matter if you're right or not. Numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
And they were good sized guys too. I mean, these guys really look like they could fuck this guy up, Right. And I heard one of them when they were getting in the car going, man, I don't want to get in a fight. And I'm thinking, well, there's still two of them. They still could probably, until they go after this guy and all of a sudden he just destroys them.
Yeah, exactly. Who knew?
Yeah.
Goddamn, like Krav Maga master or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My guy doesn't look like much, but he killed 2 of the 3 guys.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The only reason he didn't kill the 3rd one is because he got thirsty.
I mean, from what I heard, that guy just got out of a coma in the hospital like a few days ago.
I've heard he's looking for him. The other guy's looking for him to finish it.
God damn, Steven Seagal.
Yeah. That was about and like I said, it was only 2 weeks. So, I used to hang out at, a gas station like late at night because my brother and I would go up because a friend of his worked at it. So we'd just go up there because we were bored out of our minds. And we'd just stand there talking with her. And she'd usually give us, like free drinks and shit. So,
right.
So I saw some crazy shit then because it was, overnight. The one I worked at closed at midnight. So, you didn't get that overnight craziness or the post-bar craziness,
Right.
Whereas this other one was open all night. So you saw some weird people come in.
Yeah, it was, it was nutty. Until that woman started flipping her flapper, and she was saying, like I said, she was just straight up going, "Fuck you," because I'm white, and then she's like, "I'm white and I'm proud."
Oh,
fuck
Jesus.
you! It was just like, oh my god.
You're like, lady, as a white person, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Like I am the stereotypical Aryan Nation guy with my shaved head and beard.
Right. At least, but you were wearing the suit to break up the stereotype.
Yeah, I did have the suit on and my North Face hat on my head, so you couldn't tell
right.
my golden dome up there.
Right.
But,
which makes you more dangerous.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
They underestimate
you don't see me coming then.
Either that or they think you're a hitman that oddly enough wears a knit hat. Yeah.
Hey, it gets cold.
Yeah, I understand.
Shit gets cold.
I understand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it was bizarre.
Well, that's fun.
Man. Yeah, it was a bizarre world. But the like last weekend we went out with some friends, which you missed some drunken nonsense, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went down to the attic like Gene and I did.
Yeah.
And she completely forgot that she told our pals Don and Renee to meet us there. Because they just walked in and were like, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, "You invited us?" Like, oh, huh.
You're like, "Yeah, I know. I was just seeing if you knew."
But her and I, for some reason that day, we hardly ate any food. So we're just like, well, we'll get some beers, then we'll go have dinner. And that was a bad start for me, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, look, breakfast stout. A good douche. I got another beer.
That's a good starter.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had it on tap. Why would I not, right?
Well, and you hadn't had much to eat, so, it's breakfast and
I need something filling.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, the heat's on. It's getting warmer. I got to take my hat off. Jesus. Reveal the golden dome.
Yeah.
But
racist. Yeah.
But see, in that area where the attic is, or the restaurant we're going to, it's part of I think they call it Aura.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the Adams outdoor recreation area. And if you're going local in Toledo here. And then there's Dora, which is further south, which is the, whatever, it doesn't matter. Downtown outdoor. But so what I understand with the stuff by the Mud Hen Stadium, if you want a Traveler Cup, you have to pay $1.
Okay.
For the cup.
Okay.
So I was asking the person at the attic, I'm like, so I know over there you got to pay $1 for travel, because I still had a decent amount of beer. I'm like, and Jeannie's like, just kill it. I'm like, no, I want to feel like a grown up and walk the streets with a beer in my hand.
Right.
Right. Because it is a good feeling.
Right, and not one in a paper bag.
Yeah, right, exactly. And the guy's like, nah, fuck that area. Our cups are free down here. I'm like, oh. So for sure I walked up the street with the only rule is it has to be in the cup they give you.
Yeah.
And you have to finish your drink before you can go into another establishment.
That seems fair. Because otherwise you'd have assholes just taking one beer and going in 3 places or something. That's,
Right, exactly.
Sure.
So, yeah, done.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it felt nice to walk up the road with beer in my hand.
Now, did you strut?
I probably did.
Or saunter?
I didn't strut like Ric Flair style. I should have.
You should have.
Finished it and then threw it on the ground, elbow dropped it.
Yep. Yes.
That would have been amazing.
And then married it and let it divorce you and take half of your shit.
Yeah. Oh. Wah, wah, wah.
Oh, yeah.
But so, we did that. We went to Manhattan's, got some fine dinner. I don't even remember what I ate anymore. Oh, I had fish and chips. It was delicious. but they had a beer on their menu, and they had it at the Attic. It's just called OK Beer.
Oh, yeah, I remember your picture of it, yeah.
So I'm like, it was a slightly larger than a pint can, like 16.9 or something like that.
Right, a big dumb OK beer.
Yeah, big dumb OK beer. That's what I should have called it.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's like a 5-point-something% beer, and it was like $2.
Nice.
So I was like, I have to try this.
Right.
And it's called OK Beer because it's a Polish beer.
Okay.
And the city it's brewed in is OK, a shitload of Polish letters.
Okay.
That's the city. So that's why they just called OK Beer.
Right.
And it wasn't terrible, especially for the price point.
So you're saying it was okay then?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's how we end up with big dumb PBRs, though, is we're like, well, we don't want to spend a lot of money. These are like $2.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Or $3, whatever, Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shit, when Gene and I went to Rockies last time, for happy hour price, my bottle of PBR was $1.50.
Exactly. Yep.
It's like, really? And it was actually kind of delicious at the time. Every once in a while, I need a break from like getting punched in the face with flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The statement is really funny, like.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like every once in a while, I don't want something to taste good.
like I don't want that intense.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you mean.
I had those little Coors Banquet beers, my little stubbies.
Yeah.
And I plowed through the 6-pack already because I just I kind of enjoy just beer flavored beer.
Right.
As much as I enjoy non-beer flavored beer.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess.
But so we left the Manhattan, and I'm already feeling nice and toasty. And we went to Maumee Bay because Blitzen is on tap.
Right.
They were out of it already. They only had it in bottles.
I was going to say, yeah, I saw a big old display of it at the grocery store the other day.
Isn't that crazy, though?
Yeah.
They were like, Blitzen tap. And we're like, yeah, we have bottle? Like, what? What?
How do you...
Couldn't believe it.
Blows my mind, dude.
Every year.
Everyone's
like, oh, shit, and they start jacking off when Blitzen comes off, and then they run out at the tap house.
It blows my mind, because you're right. It's not like once, oh, it happened one year. It's like, this has been every year that we've been going there, I think this has happened.
Yes.
Like, it seems like that first time any of us go down there to get it, they are either running out or have run out.
Yep.
I mean, I know a lot of people are, like you said, get all hard over the beer, but it's still like, geez.
And I mean, and I still enjoy it. And I think this year's batch is better than last year's because I actually didn't really care for last year's batch of Blitzen.
Yeah.
But it's still just your average Christmas beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now that I've expanded my horizons so much since I first tasted Blitzen, I don't get as excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that. That's kind of like, oh shit, what's that beer? Oberon. It's the same way.
Right.
Remember back when you couldn't wait for Oberon to come back out,
right.
And now it's like, I'll drink one,
Yeah, if you see on Instagram, someone's like, first Oberon, they're slamming it, and then they're like hammering the bottle into their ass or something because they get so excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, wow. You follow
excitement.
You follow way different things on Instagram than I do.
It's those hashtags, Brian. Those hashtags.
It must be, yeah.
Yeah. The bottles in the ass of Instagram.
Oh, that just reminds me of a terrible video. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
Glass does not belong in the anus, folks. Sorry.
Negative.
Well, not that kind of glass. I'm sure there's some that's just fine, but that's not a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I was, it was one of those situations where Jeannie just reached in my pocket and took the keys and then slid me her pint. She's like, okay, I guess I'm driving. We were having fun.
Right. It sounds like you were
a good
at
evening.
least. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good evening. It was a good time.
Yeah. Boy.
I know. I miss hanging out downtown, man.
I know. I actually was thinking about that later. That I haven't hung out downtown in a long time now. I don't even know when the last time was. It's been a while. Yeah.
So we need to pick a day, go down there and just peruse like the as much as I love the idea behind the outdoor recreation of carrying beers around, but the fact of they want you to pay for a glass is ridiculous.
It really is. Yeah.
But a lot of the bars I really enjoy are in that area, which is annoying.
Yeah, of course, right?
Yeah. So, but I really want to go to the Cloister because it's been too long. I'm pretty sure True Scotsman's out.
Yeah, it's the right time of year.
Yeah, pretty sure it's out.
Do you have to buy a new glass or cup every time?
Yep.
Oh, that's horseshit. Okay. I was thinking Beer Fest, you get one cup and you just, that way you could like rinse it out or something like that before you put another one in or something. But
well, because the first time I was really exposed to the open container rules and the Travelers was in Key West, and it's cups you buy at like Gordon Foods. No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
And here it's like the cups are specially I don't know why. I'm surprised they give them away in the Adams Street area because their cups are printed on.
Oh yeah.
So somebody's got to be paying for that.
Right.
I don't know who.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said I don't mind paying for a cup, but I kind of mind paying for that concept over and over.
I guess to be fair, I'm not 100% sure if you have to throw it away, but I'm pretty sure you have to throw it away.
You probably do. It wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. Which seems super wasteful too.
Yeah. I agree.
Right?
Yeah. That's what they should do is just charge a certain amount. And be like, yeah, you can't, like you said, you got to have that cup to walk around with beer. You can't just walk around with bottles, which is smart because weapon, but, or litter, whichever, Well,
and that's why the whole Traveler cup made sense to me.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to leave, pour it in one of these plastic cups and then see ya.
Sure. Exactly.
That's why I don't get why the Adams Street area has specialty cups with the rules on it, because just tell the people the rules. If they're not following them, some cop will kick them in the teeth or something.
Yeah, right. I mean, you run that risk. Yeah. I'm probably likely to just hammer the beer and then just leave.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's something satisfying about walking on the sidewalk with beer in your hand.
But it's maybe I'll do it once and then be like, all right, I've lived, and now
I've lived,
and now I'm saving the rest of that money for more beer.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It was a fun little night. It's been a lot of beer. I should save some of this for our next show though, because we're kind of recording late.
Yeah. And
we've done stuff this weekend.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna hold off on that stuff.
Right, fair enough.
We were supposed to. Well, never mind. That was this weekend.
All right.
Oh, we had trivia night.
Oh yeah, we did.
Your goddamn silver medalists over here.
Yeah. Yep.
It's about time we played. It's been a long time.
I know. Well, we got third last time, or the time before, one of the two.
Well, we're creeping up then. You know what that means? 2 weeks.
First.
Or 1 week now by the time,
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Domination.
First. This is our, would this be our official Thanksgiving episode?
Well, it's coming out the Monday before Thanksgiving, so, I mean, technically, yeah, because the next one won't come out until after.
So we should say, I guess, Happy Thanksgiving?
Yeah. I mean, obviously we'll talk about Thanksgiving on the next one, but...
Oh, for sure. Tales of, turkeys and yams and whatever the fuck.
Yeah. And my second tooth removal, yeah.
Wow, perfect.
Yeah, that's on Tuesday. Fun.
Are they going to remove it for frozen turkey?
Obviously.
Just beat you in the face with it until it falls out.
Yeah. One can only hope.
Right? That'd be incredible.
I don't know if it'd be incredible or not.
So we also decided that we are spending our 15th anniversary, which is this upcoming year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go to Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yep. Never been.
Yeah. Have either of you been there? I know you. Okay.
Either one of us have been there. And when we decided to book, well, it was funny because it was one of those things where Jeannie's like, I want to do something for our anniversary because it's 15, it's a big year, which I'm like, that's fine. Whatever. We'll figure something out.
Right.
And, she's like, oh, I'd love to go to, like Jamaica with, and go and see Neil and Annalise again, all that. It's like, super expensive.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm like, but those guys go to Reno all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you want to see them, we could, just look into Reno or something. And she's like, I don't want to go to Reno, but I'm like, well, Vegas.
Yeah.
So I randomly texted Neil. I'm like, hey, we're thinking about doing this in Vegas in this time. What do you think? He's like, oh yeah. And then they basically booked the room before we did. We're like, oh, okay. I guess we're in on this.
They're already there waiting on you.
Exactly.
Like, so, but when are they going to get here?
But it was like the time where we booked our room. They're having some ridiculous sale.
Yeah.
So we're actually staying really cheap.
Nice.
It's just the flights are going to suck.
Yeah.
And they're not terrible, but just flights in general are expensive.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I mean, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I've never been, and you know, I'd like to figure out craps or something. Oh, let it ride. I'll be yelling and throwing drinks at people and whatever.
Like, let it ride. Be like, sir, this is roulette. Like, huh.
Because the only gambling I've really done has been, with the exception of, occasional little video poker and slots, is I played blackjack for a little bit.
And blackjack's your mathematically, like, your best chance of winning.
Yes.
Because you can actually affect, the game.
But man, does it craps look fun.
It does. I
don't even know how to play it.
I don't either. Fun. You're right. It looks like something. Yeah. You know what it looks like? It looks like something would be a lot of fun when you're just hammered to stand near the table.
That's what I'm thinking, man.
Yeah. That's more where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And of course, because, once we figured out where we're staying, I'm like, well, to my apps. Oh, look, there's 2 breweries within walking distance of our hotel. Excellent.
Of course. Well, that makes sense. I figured there'd be plenty out there.
Yeah.
Or at least some right in that area, because why wouldn't there be?
Because, that's our game, man.
Yeah.
Find that beer.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We'll have
it's
all
like
your
Pokemon,
beers.
but delicious.
Right.
Yeah, gotta drink them all.
Right.
That should be a shirt. It probably is.
Oh man, if it's not, somebody's really missed out.
Yeah, I just gave out $1 million idea.
You really did, yeah. Shit.
Delete that. Cut that out.
Yeah. In a couple days, you see on my Twitter or something, be like, "Hey guys, go check out my new website."
Yeah, gotta catch them all, or gotta drink them all.com.
We've got T-shirts and hats and. And this was totally not made up by Tony.
Yeah, for sure, not at all.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, what happened to this week's episode? I just cut it out of there. Yeah. That way there's no proof it was your idea. Whoa.
It's crazy, guys.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
But yeah, and the more I've been thinking about it, too, like in my travels,
mm-hmm.
I've never been over to Mississippi River. It's all been East Coast.
Yeah, like I'm kind of the same. Well, I'm the same way. Like the furthest west I've been is was it Rosemont, because that technically past Chicago, I think. So
right,
somewhere in Chicago or Illinois is the furthest west I've been, and that's in the north of the country. Like in the south, it's probably like Tennessee. Those states right there are probably the furthest west I've been.
Right.
So there's a whole lot of the country I still haven't been to.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been to pretty much everything on the East Coast and, into, across the Midwest to like Indiana and Illinois. But that's the end of it.
I hear you.
And it's weird.
I'm the same way.
I've been to Illinois like 4 times in my life, still, but nowhere past there.
Right.
It's almost like, the country doesn't exist past there.
Well, we need to do a Lewis and Clark adventure. That'd be a fun vlog.
Yeah, it would.
Brian and Tony, aka Lewis and Clark.
That's actually what I was gonna say, because I was gonna be like, I pretty much haven't seen the Louisiana Purchase.
Right.
And then the West Coast, of course.
We could dress up in furs, find some, hot Indian broad to come with us.
Now, in furs, you're talking like from the Players Ball, right? Like big pimp coats. Okay.
Oh, luxurious pimp coats.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah, of course.
Because you got to travel in style.
Oh, goddamn right. Gold rope chains, everything.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah. Like I said, hot Indian bitches.
Yeah. It seems fair. We need someone to, keep us, well, we're going to be drunk, so we're going to need someone to be like, hey, you should go this way.
We're going to get a Conestoga wagon.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to customize it, so we're going to drop it low.
Right.
Get some nice padding on the inside, some gems, some jewels.
I'm just picturing a wagon up on 22s. Which would actually probably be smaller wheels than it had.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be.
Yeah. But it would still look hilarious.
Yeah.
Seeing one rolling than that.
But we definitely got to drop it down.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get that better stance, roll low and slow.
Yeah, naturally.
For sure.
Until we get closer to out west, then we transition from Lewis and Clark to Fear and Loathing Las Vegas.
Oh, that makes sense.
You know, like when we're where we can't stop because it's bat country and such.
Exactly. This all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
There's got to be some comic book artist has had to have drawn some of Batman's rogues galleries in a convertible saying this is Bat Country.
I remember seeing one where it's the one they did was the Joker, and I can't remember who else it was, but it was that exact, the Joker was Hunter S. Thompson. And yeah, it was pretty great.
I was like, that has to exist.
Yeah.
Has to.
And of course there's like, you know, various bats flying around, like Batman looking bat, you know, like Batman logo looking bats.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to doing a little Vegas action. That should be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe warm. I don't know.
Right. Just try not to get your knees broke. You know?
I will do my best. I'm hoping to pull off the kind of luck my brother-in-law has, the Jisk, when he will, you know, wander into a bathroom to hose drunkenly and throw money in a slot machine and wander out and it's one.
Wow. That's...
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I know the odds against going to Vegas and coming out ahead of the game are slim, but that would be nice.
Yeah.
I do expect to go with money. Like, this is money I'm planning on losing.
Yeah.
And if I can make more out of that, that'd be great. But I doubt that'll happen.
What I want you to do is I want you to get a coin purse. And when you go up to a slot machine, like pull out like, you know, a quarter or 50 cents from your coin purse. And that's it.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah.
It'd be one of those little rubber ones that kind of looks like a little vagina.
Yes.
You know, those are weirdest coin purses.
Yeah, right.
I never understood those.
Because it's either got to be that or one of the ones with like the metal closure, you know.
A little clasp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that one better because, you know, I don't want to randomly get turned on by my coin purse.
Yeah, that could get awkward.
That was weird. I was going for a quarter and I just ended up fucking it.
I heard this weird sax music and all bets were off.
It's crazy.
That's terrible.
It is terrible.
Yeah.
Well, how about yourself, sir?
Well, we're recording this late because I had a 3-day migraine so far. I think it's pretty much gone now. Thank God.
Wow. 3 days. That's exciting.
Yeah, like didn't get out of bed pretty much Friday or yesterday. I did finally last night, mainly because I was just tired of laying in the dark, basically, you know.
You know what we call those 3 days, Brian? We call that the grind. Just grind it out.
It was fucking brutal. I think a lot of it was like sinus based because, you know, we had that rain come through and shit.
Weird weather changes again.
Yeah, you know, which is, you know, what's going to happen in this area. So, you know.
This is very true.
Yeah.
It's the shit we deal with in our area.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, that was a blast, though. I mean, I can't recommend it enough. If you can get yourself a 3-day migraine, do it. Forget your Vegas trip. Get you a 3-day migraine. Or take that with you. Because that'll be a great place to have migraines.
That should be a service we can provide.
I agree. Yeah.
We can offer people 3-day migraines.
I don't know exactly how we do that unless we just keep punching them in the head or something like that.
Well, yeah. You hire us for however many days you need a migraine. And then we just hang out in your house with a ball peen hammer.
Oh, yeah. That seems fair.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah. So they're like, oh, my head's feeling better. Kadoosh! Oh, hammer across the face.
Yeah.
I don't know how profitable this business is.
Probably not very. Yeah.
Not very. Unless you can give other people migraines.
Well, yeah, then that's a whole different story. Yeah.
You know, the dick in a box service, you can send dicks to people and whatever else.
Right.
It's like that, but it's just us with a hammer.
That seems fair. Yeah. Ding dong. Who's there? Skadoosh. Oh God. That's from Tim. Says stay the fuck away from his wife. Who's Tim? This is 317, right?
Oh, this is 319. Oh.
Our fault.
Sorry. Yeah, here's a coupon.
Yeah. They're just laying there in just a mess of brain matter. Good times. Good times.
Who's Tim?
Oh man. Yeah, I again, it's been a pretty non-eventful week for me. I really did not do a whole lot of anything. I went to therapy, talked to my therapist a little bit about, my midlife crisis that I'm in at the moment. It's funny. I keep joking about that.
Are you buying a Corvette?
Not yet. Soon.
Okay.
I have to get the 18-year-old girlfriend first.
Right.
Well, actually, the Corvette would probably help me. So, All right.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go Corvette shopping?
Let's go.
Yeah, sweet. By shopping,
Can we take this out for a test drive?
Yeah.
See ya.
But she mentioned something to me about the whole, cause, I want to draw, but I still am having issues getting to that point. I talked about this a little on the Crazy Life. I've been posting a picture of some of my old stuff from like high school and college every so often on Instagram to kind of hope that maybe, it'd kick me in the ass. I think I talked about this maybe on this show last week. But she mentioned to me that instead of maybe like school or whatever, and this isn't like a career path, but kind of a stepping point towards something else maybe, is to maybe get to where I'm trying to put out some regular art and, kind of do like an Etsy store type of thing. That way it feels like I'm not only doing some art, but potentially putting it out there for sale,
Oh, right on.
Which is not a bad idea. It might be a good kind of baby step in the meantime until I figure something else out. So it's, I did kind of like that, and she was really happy to hear that I've been posting, more stuff because, every time you put something like that out there is always that opportunity for someone to be like, boo,
right.
You suck and you should die or whatever, but still it's, but I've been trying all that kind of stuff anyway, cause trying to push myself in areas where I've not been great in the past,
Right.
It's really weird though, because I never thought about how no matter what my grades were in like the art classes and all that kind of stuff, I never put myself out there with my art. Like I was not hey, look at my sketchbook or, hey, come check out, I had art hanging a couple, art show or not a couple, I had quite a few, but, in various art shows or like when we were in commercial art, remember we had to do like those tri-boards and, parents came in and got to see all that stuff and, excuse me. And, I had some art that was up in like a couple of the plays, like out in the lobby, they had an art show basically, and I never thought of those things, but it's like outside of those few things, it's like whenever I would draw something or whatever, it was pretty much like I worked on it at school. And then when I was done with it, it would just I would just bring it home and basically put it away.
Well, I better lock this away forever.
Yeah. Now, in fairness, the internet wasn't then what it is now. Otherwise, I probably, like if I had Instagram then, maybe I would have thrown some stuff on Instagram,
I could see that.
Yeah. So I don't, it's kind of a weird feeling putting that stuff out there, especially when people comment on it, cause then I get all uncomfortable cause I have to accept compliments.
Sound like my wife.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. I've gotten a lot better at it, but I'm still not good at it.
Right.
I'm working on it. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, that's, I think, been about it for the week. I can't think of anything. Be happy to get Tuesday over with. So I get that other tooth out and be done with it. Then I'm done with the dentist until I got to go back for a cleaning.
Wash your hands of the teeth.
Yeah, which will be nice.
Man. Speaking of teeth, we've been, Leah has her like palate separator in.
Yeah.
The first couple days of like cranking her mouth was just fucking brutal.
Yeah, I had never seen that done until I saw you do that for Logan. And I was like, oh wow, that does not look pleasant.
Yeah. And it's just cause she's like so much into the drama.
Yeah.
But like she's been a warrior the past few days.
Now I have a suggestion if she goes into the drama thing. Ball peen hammer. No.
Oh, this is true.
Just call me up. I'll come over.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Leah. Good. All right, Tony, get her.
But it's fascinating how quickly the thing works. Because her front 2 teeth used to overlap pretty good.
Yeah.
And she almost has a gap between them now.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy.
Jeez. Now, with her, did they pull a tooth to make room, or did she
had to have
okay.
some teeth pulled.
I know some people don't seem to have to. Some others have to have 1 or 2 pulled usually.
Well, she's got such an itty bitty little mouth. Like, they couldn't even put the thing in the first time they tried because her mouth is so tiny.
Oh, wow.
So they're basically like, they told us if anyone needs this, it's her. Because her like arch in her mouth is just so small.
Oh, okay.
It's just bizarre.
So this is going to give her a bigger mouth.
Yeah, that's exactly what we don't need. I think about it. Can I reverse this? Can I make this thing smaller? Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those weird things though, because you're like, I know this is the best thing for my kid.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm causing them pain.
Yeah, right.
So it's really kind of. I'm glad she's.
Well, it's win-win then, is what you're saying.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's just, it's weird.
Like, look, this is going to hurt you as much as it amuses me.
Well, it's like the first time I did it by myself with her when she was still in freak out mode. I was like, do you really think I enjoy this? You know?
Yeah. I mean, sure, once she's out of the room, of course you do, but you know.
Yeah, exactly. I have a good laugh.
Right.
Call my friends.
Yeah. Brian, guess what I just did? Hit someone with a ball peen hammer? No.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
I got to get a new one. The other one's too dirty.
That's fair. Got to keep them clean, Tony.
Exactly.
Rinse them off.
Got to keep it clean.
Got
to grind it.
Oh my.
I know, right?
Oh man. So, you got anything else for the week here?
Well, I just have like one little news story.
Okay.
But that's about it. Like as for events, no, not really.
Yeah, like I said, I had a pretty low key week. So.
But how about Malcolm Young dying? Huh?
Yeah, that's a bummer.
It is a bummer. I mean, I know he's been out of band for a few years because apparently he was going local.
Yeah.
But I mean, it still sucks.
Yeah.
I was never the biggest AC/DC fan.
Same.
But I always respected him.
Mm-hmm.
And like the other day, I was, I had Spotify up, and I was like, "Oh, Malcolm Young was dead." And they had a Malcolm Young, in tribute playlist, so I played it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is why I'm not a huge AC/DC fan."
Yeah.
Because every song's about the same, pretty much.
Yeah, I know. I
can respect AC/DC, but it's just never been my jam.
Right? Yeah, I saw a lot of people posting, that they were listening to, something of AC/DC's, and, I was like, yeah, it sucks he's gone, because he, was one of the founders of the band and stuff, but it was like, yeah, like I said, I'm kind of a take him or leave him person,
Well, and honestly, 64, in this day and age, that's kind of young.
It is, yeah. I mean, you still could, I don't know what kind of lifestyle he led in the rock and roll business and whatnot, but, sometimes for musicians, that's old.
I just have 2 words. Keith Richards. He's still hanging out.
That's a different story, though.
He's an alien.
I don't think he's human. Yeah. At some point, we're going to find out he's a replicant or something.
Sent from the future to, make sure Skynet happens.
Yeah. Oh, man. That would, can you imagine if that was his cause? Or anyway, moving on. We
watched Terminator Genesis today.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's not good.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah. I talked to a few people when it came out that went and saw it in theaters, and they were like hottest of garbage.
Yeah.
So, and the trailers and stuff just never did anything for me. So I was like, or I could go back and watch Terminator 2 again,
Yeah, they should have just stopped there.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because oh god, it was oh.
So big fan, you're saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, obviously. Like I just bought the Steelbook.
I mean, I'm a big, Terminator movie fan, but boy, they really shit the bed on this one.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Not even a festive way to shit the bed. Just a terrible way.
Right. So here's the question for you.
Yes.
Have you started watching The Punisher yet?
No, I have not.
Yeah, neither have I. What's funny is both of us were like, oh man, I can't wait for it.
I know, right?
Here it is 2 days after the release of it. And I don't know if I'll start it tonight, because when we're done, I've got Survivor Series to go watch. So, it's...
I still haven't even watched, started Stranger Things season 2 yet.
Goodness. Yeah.
I know, right?
That I've finished. Like this week I watched, they put a new season of Man Seeking Woman on Hulu, so I burned through that because they're 20-minute episodes. And that show's funny. It's got just like the way that they present stuff, like, something happens and they show this gross exaggeration of it, basically. And that is kind of canon within the show. So even though something really wacky happens, they still they just move forward from it. It's not like a cutaway kind of a thing,
right.
Which is pretty entertaining to me, and Eric Andre's in it. Eric Andre's really funny in it.
Well, the guy's a maniac.
Oh yeah, he is.
What? I may not have watched Stranger Things or Punisher, but I did finish up a season of Great British Bake Off that I hadn't watched yet.
Oh, see, I thought you were going to say of the Eric Andre show or something.
No.
Have you watched that?
Oh yeah. It's
okay.
Insane.
I was going to say, if you haven't, you should. It's a weird, it's not for everybody, for sure.
Yeah.
But it's so fun to see some of his guests have no clue what the show is about.
Yeah, it's insane.
And just get up and leave.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. I can't remember who it was. There's one woman who was just like, nope, and just leaves.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Hannibal Buress is like, where are you going?
That's one of my favorite little memes floating around. It's just Hannibal Buress screenshot, just whack.
Yeah. Oh, man. I love him. He's great. What else? Oh, there's a show on Hulu that just dropped this week called Future Man, and it's produced by Seth Rogen and Adam, what is it, Goldberg? I think it is. They write together all the time.
Right, the weed guy and the wrestler.
No, not that Goldberg.
Oh, okay.
But it was an interesting show. And it's got some moments that kind of hook you, but it's pretty predictable, and it feels like a show that I'd probably enjoy way more if I was high.
Seth Rogen effect.
Yeah, because, the real quick premise of it is this guy is playing this game that no one's ever beat, and when he beats it, two people come back from the future, and basically they come back to be with him so that they can prevent something that happens that ruins civilization in the future.
Skynet?
Yeah. No. And of course he's, completely inept. He's not a warrior at all. He's, he's a janitor at the place he works at and stuff, so.
Right.
And they dick around with some of, they time travel, and certain things they've done when they come back, have affected the future or whatever. It's pretty predictable, It's got a lot of tropes in it that you're like, oh yeah, I've seen this before, but
right.
It isn't that but it was entertaining enough that I watched, I don't know, it was 8 or 10 episodes, again, half-hour show. So, I enjoyed it, but it's like, if I were going to give it a 1 to 10 scale, it's probably like a, 4 or 5, somewhere in that range. It wasn't terrible though. There's some funny stuff in it. But
right.
I don't feel like it was their best work. What else was there? There was something else I watched this week. I don't remember what it is now. Oh, well, I started watching, they finally put the new season of It's Always Sunny in Hulu. I've been waiting forever.
Oh, not in Netflix, huh?
I don't know if it's in Netflix. I know it's in Hulu because I started watching it last night. I was like, Jesus, finally.
Although I heard it's kind of it seems like the ship is sailing.
Yeah.
From what I hear.
I've kind of felt that way for the last couple of seasons, that they probably should end the show. But there's always something about the show that happens that you're like, or one episode, one I watched last night was Charlie and, oh my God, I can't think of his name now. Shit. How the two moms live together?
Oh, right.
Charlie's mom and, God, I can't think of his name. Mac. their moms live together. Well, basically they put, cameras all throughout the house, and then they're sitting in the back of, the bar watching what's going on, and it's basically like a sitcom.
That's pretty funny.
Like something happens and like, Charlie's mom's gonna hit Mac's mom in the head with a hammer. And,
wait, ball peen hammer?
I don't know. It might have been. Yeah, I know.
They're infringing on us.
Yeah, right. But she's about to hit her with a hammer, and then, the other one turns and she's just like, doo, hides it behind her back. And, oh shit, what's his name? Damn it. The smarmy ladies man guy on the show. I can't think of his name now.
God damn it.
Yeah. Anyway, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So he's sitting there at his keyboard and he adds like a laugh track to it. And then they play it without the laugh track and they're like, oh, that's dark. That's terrible. And then they play it with the laugh track and and all of them are like, that's funny. That's really funny. That's
pretty great.
That was a really good episode because that's the whole episode. Like nothing else. It's all about the sitcom basically. And,
it's very meta.
Yeah, well, yeah. The show's good at that kind of thing. So yeah, that was. And then there was one episode where they mimic making a murderer.
Right.
Dennis, that's the other one's name.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bam.
Because Dennis's ex-wife, one with the dead tooth. She like, and they tell you this at the beginning of the episode, I'm not really spoiling anything. Like, she dies because she's been transitioning to be a cat. And,
all right.
And basically the whole episode is the rest of the gang basically talking about how horrible Dennis is to the police.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Basically just selling him down the river at every chance they have. And again, those episodes I thought were really good. There's a couple others that I'm like, but again, there's always
it's been on funny. For how many seasons?
The season I'm watching is 12.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It's,
that's why I say
that's way beyond the lifespan of most shows.
Yeah, exactly. And like I say, you can tell because I mean that show's so ridiculous that to up it each year is really hard.
Yeah. Bravo to those, to them.
Yeah. I mean, I still love the show. I still occasionally go back and watch like various seasons or whatever because I love it so much. Yeah, because of Rumham, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Rumham.
Rumham.
Right?
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been watching. The next thing I'll watch will be Punisher though, for sure.
Yeah, I need to fire that up because it's Punisher.
Yeah. Actually, what I might do is start the Punisher and kind of go between that and It's Always Sunny, kind of break it up. So that
Don't forget Great British Bake Off.
Yeah, and of course, because I think there's a season 2 in there now. So
fuck yeah. By goddamn time. I gotta watch that make some biscotti.
I gotta get my British Bake Off on.
I know. There's something oddly satisfying about that show.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know either. But you're right.
Yeah. You're like, oh man, they really fucked up the chocolate work on that cake. They're out.
Right. The best
part. What am I doing?
The best part is when you start watching those kind of shows, whether it's Chopped or that one or Iron Chef, to where somebody makes a mistake and you're like, what an asshole.
You're like, oh my God, I can't believe they didn't let their vanilla sponge cake cool enough.
Yeah. Right.
Now their frosting is everywhere.
Yeah.
You fool. Yeah.
How could you not put the blueberry puree in? It was right there in the basket. Yeah. That's.
They should have chopped the butter in, but they didn't. No. It is weird.
Yeah. How after a while you become an expert.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Like, well, I would have done this.
You're like, they should have for sure candied those nuts, but they chopped them up like a fool.
Right. It's like, no, you wouldn't have. You would have probably froze like a deer in headlights and maybe shit your pants.
Accurate.
That's what you would have done. Like, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, there is that.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yep.
The weird things you find yourself watching sometimes. I've been watching that, and I've been watching Meat Eater again, which is on Netflix.
What's that?
It's a hunting show. Meat Eater.
Yeah, okay. I remember you talking about that before, right?
And it's like, he's like, hey, I just killed this fucking thing and I'm going to cook it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
that's basically the show.
Fair enough. I mean, that's what you do.
But it's something oddly fascinating about that too.
Right. You're sitting around in like your loincloth and grunting at it.
Yeah, basically. Well, I was watching one and he was hunting sooty grouse, which I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
But it's just a bird that hangs out in Alaska and are hard to hunt.
Okay.
But they eat like spruce needles and shit, so they taste a little piney. And all I could think was like, oh man, Jeannie would love that.
Well, there you go. You gotta just take her up there and do some
sooty
hunting.
grouse.
Yeah. Go up there and get some hunting in.
I know, right?
Take your ball peen hammer and get after it.
It's a hammer with a rope on it, so I can retrieve it like Mjolnir.
Ooh, nice. I like that idea. Except, the first time you pull it back, it's hitting you in the face.
Probably. Or it's going to wrap around a tree branch.
Yeah, it's going to do something that's going to somehow injure you. I don't know what, but...
Yeah. You hit a mountain lion right in the dick, get all angry.
Right. Or you're going to blow a rotator cuff when you throw it.
Yeah, but probably.
Oh, Jesus.
Shoulder's pretty fucked as it is.
Yeah. And the rest of your trip, your arm's just dangling at your side.
Yeah. Trying to do my best, early access Vader impersonation.
Yeah. I like it. That's a good plan.
Right?
Oh, man. You watching anything else, or is that the...
That's pretty much, I mean, it's, what usually happens to me is I fire up the fire stick.
Right.
Say fire again, you douche. I get it going. And, I spend half the time just perusing.
Yeah.
Cause I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that. This is something I watch if, like Gene and I watch together. I don't want to watch that. And then I end up settling for something bizarre.
Right.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
It's weird.
Yeah. I do that a lot though too, where I'll look through like what's in my queue or my list or whatever, depending on the app. And I'll be like, I just don't feel like watching any of this. That's how I ended up back on Bob's Burgers actually. Was I was looking through my stuff and I was like, and then right underneath it was like, top picks for you, and Bob's Burgers was there. I was like, you know what? Like, let's go back and listen and watch some Bob's Burgers. And they were putting, and I didn't realize it, they were putting the current season's episodes in there. So when I got to the end, I'm like, why is there only like 6 episodes? These are this season's episodes. So
nice.
I was like, cool, I can actually like stay on top of it if I want, like let them collect a little bit and then, watch 3 or 4.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So speaking of weird things.
Yes.
We missed something on the show a few weeks back. And, or at least I think so.
We?
I don't remember talking about this, but I have a shitty memory. Did we mention that Hobie hit their 200th episode?
You know what? We did not, and
okay.
We both sucked because of it.
I mean, Brigger's dead to me, but I still, I still want to honor that 200 episodes is, it's still an accomplishment. So
for sure.
So congrats, guys, if you're listening, or congrats. Tell your wife congrats. So
right.
The show she pioneered, or not pioneered. Never mind. Jesus.
I hear you.
Terrible.
Yeah. No, it's congrats to anyone that hits 200. It's always a milestone in podcast world.
Yeah.
Because I want to say so many podcasts, people just kind of stop after a while.
They do, yeah. As I was listening to former PodGods members also doing the Job podcast last night, which is about wrestling. And I saw that they were on, I think, their 270-something episode. So I was like, wow, man, I didn't realize they had done that many. So
it's not 329.
Yeah, that's true. But they're putting in the grind.
But they're grinding out. Not like little bitches out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. No, it is. It is something. If nothing else, that means you sat down 200 times to do the same thing, which is, that's quite a commitment.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. So, maybe one of these times will be funny when we're not on, but
Well, they definitely need us back.
Yeah.
Because they just do.
Yeah, I agree.
I did threaten to, hopefully I'm not giving away anything, but I know Jeannie of Hobie's going to be back on her show coming up, and I did threaten to just come crashing through the wall like Kool-Aid Man.
That seems like something you would do.
Well, it's exactly what I did when Jeannie was on Dark Angels and Pretty Freaks, and I just Skyped in.
You did totally just. Well, the door was open, and we all know,
Yep,
door's open. I'm coming in. Yep.
Exactly.
Now, make sure if you go on their show though that you again put the microphone right up in your beard so they get that nice bristly sound the whole time. Oh
yeah, I definitely learned my lesson.
No, you should do it if you go on their show though.
Exactly.
Anyway, so yeah, congrats guys. I don't know how I missed that. I looked at something on Facebook the other day and saw that they're on episode, 203 or 204, and I was like, holy shit, how did I miss, that they had 200 episodes?
It's because we suck.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you're behind on podcasts.
Yeah, this is true.
Like, according to my podcast player, they've probably only done like 195 episodes. Oh, man. So I have one last story here.
Oh, okay.
Before we move into the other stuff. And I'm sure you saw this, but did you see Cards Against Humanity's publicity stunt for this season?
I read the email, and I know it's something to do about like basically anti-Trump stuff.
Yeah, they
right, but I didn't quite I didn't click the link because I was busy, unfortunately.
They're buying or have bought a piece of property at the U.S.-Mexico border, basically to where if there were to be a wall built, they would be in the way, essentially, and saying that they would block the wall from being built, essentially, which, on first sniff is really funny. I just thought,
yes.
Hilarious that, they would do something like that. Cause, their stuff doesn't always land, they try, but the stuff doesn't always hit. But I was thinking about it and I was like, I don't think they can stop it. I'm pretty sure the government can still force them to sell that.
The old eminent domain.
Yeah, and Mashable, a guy wrote an article on Mashable actually talking about that he talked to law professors and stuff, and I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I thought, was that eminent domain could still be invoked here. I still like the idea. It's funny to me, but so yeah. Sorry to rain on anybody's parade who, thought it was the greatest thing ever.
It's still pretty great.
It's still, yeah. I like I said, I still cracked up at it. But.
I was like, in general, their freaking, their holiday nonsense they do is always usually pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's what I got for stories for the week.
All right, same here.
So I guess we go into Dude Mountain. I totally blanked there. Whew.
Well, Dude Mountain, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Dude Mountain.
Nice.
Booyah. So, Brian.
Yeah.
Once again, these will be kind of goofy numbers because we're recording a little later, so it's already been affected by this week's games.
Right.
But down in the bottom, the broth monster is above these guys.
Oh.
I know. You got holding these nuts are definitely holding other people's nuts right now.
I'm pretty sure you don't want to be under the broth monster. That seems like the worst place to be, for sure.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's like a sandwich because he's underneath bend to knee.
Oh.
And then it's the broth monster.
Oh, man.
I know, right? Just raining broth down upon them.
Oh. Ugh. Squeezing the nut bag out like it's a wet towel.
Oh. Goddamn right. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yep.
But above the broth monster, you got yourself, Brian.
Still in 10th?
Still in 10th.
Nice.
You got Dr. Feelgood, the Honey Pot, and then tied for 5th, you got Vengeful One, Hobie McHobeface, and John Bon Tom Glissons. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
I'm coming in at 4th. If existence is pain, Jerry. And then we're, in 3rd place. You got Henno's Dogs, Fuzzy and Fatty.
Right.
Mr. Jackal coming in at number 2. And number 1 is Randy of Mount Savage, our buddy Garrett.
Boy, that's 3 weeks in a row, I think he's
3 weeks in a row. Yeah. He's starting to dominate. No. He's 5 points ahead of this number 2 spot.
Wow. Starting to put some distance there, huh?
Exactly. He's pulling away a little bit.
It's really funny to me. The funniest one on there is the fact that for the second year, Henno's Dogs have put him near the top.
I know, it's fascinating.
And it's totally
just goes to show you.
Good.
It goes to show you that the Vegas odds are just bullshit.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, man. That's good stuff.
So there you go. There is your Dude Mountain update.
Of the week. No.
Oh, jeez. Too many sounds.
What are you doing?
Capping it off.
Mountain.
There you go. Thunders and stuff.
Wow, that was so lifelike.
I know, right? It's crazy.
All right, so I guess now it's time for the Q of the W, right?
Q of the dubs. You like that sound drop?
That was something.
It was definitely something.
Yeah.
So, we asked y'all, hey, Salt Lake is coming to your town. Where should we go to eat and drink? So this is because I've been pushing Instagram hard lately. All of a sudden,
yeah.
So I got a couple on Instagram. We got our buddy Philip. It says Logboat Brewing Company for all the beers, and then go to 44 Stone Public House for me. I hope this means more for more beers and good food. Brigger, the dead one, says the B.O.B. Studios. Hobie knows some good delivery places. So I think he's inviting us into his home, probably to get a ball peen hammer.
Probably.
And maybe a deep dickin'.
He's got $10. Wait a minute. No.
Wait a minute. Let me see here. Ooh, whoops, I just closed the tab that I needed because I had answers on it, son of a bitch.
Nice.
I know, right? So on Instagram, we got our buddy Jared. He says that Schooners in his town. Good food and decent tap selection. Dev says, fuck my town. There ain't shit here.
He's right.
I'll go with my adopted city of Ann Arbor. Miss Kim is legit. Great little Korean place.
Oh, I thought it was like an Oriental massage kind of.
Oh, right. Shoulder rub and a hand job.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Right.
I thought it was the old rub and tug, But,
yeah, for sure.
All right, fair enough.
Back rub and a dick suck.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got $10.
Jeff from Hobie, he says Cincinnati Beer Fest.
Fair enough.
Then he also adds, although the 365 Flicks guys would probably suggest donuts from Graders. And then one of the 365 guys, Kevin, he says, nah, that place with the beer pumps at your table is the future. Which, that sounds amazing.
I like that idea. Unless it's, garbage beer at the table, then it wouldn't be. But.
Well, yeah, then it's right out. And then Matthew McDonough. He says Point Break or Dark Horse.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I mean, we've already done that with him, so.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
And then, Amish Baby Machine. I haven't heard from those guys in a while.
Right.
They say powerful. Twin Cities, best food and craft beer.
I'm assuming powerful craft beer.
I assume it's powerful craft beer, yes. Because Amish Baby Machine.
Right.
And there you go. That is that's what I got on my end of the Q of the Dubs.
All right. I just looked through Twitter and I don't see any on Twitter. So,
you make me sad, Twitter.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump to...
make me sad.
Fluffy Bunny Ash gave me one. And it's... she says, so first off, we have a couple beer bars. There's the Craft Brasserie, or I don't know how you say it, located at I'm not going to say that, but
it's pronounced brazier.
Yeah, right. She said it's just called
brazier.
She said it's just called the Craft most of the time, which makes sense. Shorten the name down. Although I do like your name.
Is it the Craft or is it the Croft?
It's spelled with a C, so I'm not really sure. I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm sure
fair enough.
I'm sure she'll let me know when she listens. She said they have 120 taps and good food. If you can't find something to eat and drink there, you're way too picky. Sounds like
120 taps?
Yep. Sounds like it's time for a trip to Toronto.
Hashtag all the beers is a good way to die.
It might take us a couple days to get through all those.
You imagine the look on her face like, can I get a flight? Yeah, what do you want? All the beers.
Like,
what? Like, oh yeah, you need to sign this waiver.
Yeah, and we're going to have to run your credit card before we...
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of pours. She said also Beer Bistro has a huge selection of craft beers. And she said they got whiskey joints. The Caledonia is something like 200 bottles of whiskey. And they also do a ladies only night. Nice.
Yeah.
In case we have any lady listeners.
Exactly. We can booze them buddies at.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man. Damn, see, I wish you haven't seen Little Britain. There's a sketch in Little Britain where this guy dresses up as a woman and he's still got like facial hair still, basically. And he keeps telling everyone that he's a lady, you see. And he's in this like frilly dress, even though it doesn't fit the time.
Right.
Like he's a proper lady. And that's what pops in my head all the time now. Whenever someone on Twitter will be like, I'm a lady, I always go find that GIF.
I can't say I blame you. It sounds perfect.
Yeah, I either get that or I get the one of Dave Grohl where he's like flipping his hair.
That is incredible.
Where he's, because he's wearing a dress in it.
Yes.
She said, if you're not in the mood for a Scottish pub, then a little up the street, there's the Emmett Ray. It's a jazz club, but also has a selection of over 200 whiskeys. She said for pizza, there's Village Pizza, and Pizzeria Libretto. Sure, why not? Are both good pizza places. She said she included Village Pizza specifically for me because their signature pizza has pineapple on it, which means they're not a pizza place. No. Heathens. Blasphemers. And, where'd it go? There it is. And, I also have one from, Cheeto Bandito here.
Nice. The return of the cheats.
Yeah. Did he not answer? Okay, this is for last week's question, I guess, because I thought it was for both, but it doesn't seem to be. I said, well, to answer the last question of the week, I'm going to go local for him. There's a local band called Old Buddy Jack, and whenever I get out to see them, I'm a total shit show. They're a cover band that does a really great variety of in-your-face and pounding your eardrums rock and roll. That was in caps. Is it mix that with booze? Mix that with booze, and you've got a Cheeto Bandito with shots in his gut, a beer in each hand, taking over the mic, and in my own mind, kicking proverbial ass.
Nice. That sounds like a great time.
Here's my feeling: is I kind of think he answered 2 weeks' questions in one.
It kind of sounds like
because
it, doesn't
if we're going to visit him, this is what I want to experience.
For sure.
I don't even care if it's the best beer or the best this is what we have to see because, first of all, we got to see him as a shit show because. Why wouldn't
he? Shots in his belly.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, that's clearly the move.
Definitely.
So, yeah, that's what I got, sir.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
The fuck was that noise? Was I just smashed the mic with my headphone?
Yep.
So what I got for this week, Brian? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Hold on. I feel all out of sorts, man.
You should.
I know. There you go. Oops.
I like what you got. Good job.
Hello, Belle. My dog's in here going, why the fuck are we not in bed yet?
Yeah. Understandable.
Yeah. Right? So, this Q to W, last night we were at a Friendsgiving.
Right.
Which I'll talk about more in our next episode because, I can't just blow my load here. But,
no sax solo.
Yeah, no sax solo. But, we were playing Cards Against Humanity, right?
Uh-huh.
And I thought this card would be a perfect Q to W.
Okay.
So it's, if you were king, how will you keep the peasants in line?
Well, I think you and I kind of answered this already throughout the episode.
Yes. Ball peen hammers?
Yeah. I mean, swift and blinding, violence would be my answer, but, I don't know, actually, because, especially it depends on when you're talking king. Because if you're going back in the day, it was a little different where people were constantly trying to kill each other, for the position. Whereas now, usually, there's only a few kings in the world, and they usually seem to be around for a while,
Well, I'm going to assume it's back in the day because you have peasants you need to keep in line.
Yeah, you're right.
These days, if you're a king, it's just like,
Well, listen, any country I take over, there's going to be peasants because I'm just taking everything. So,
well, fair enough.
That's
okay.
how you keep them, from rising up. You just rob them of everything. Like back in the day, they didn't teach the serfs or the servants how to read. That way they couldn't, basically think of what a mutiny would be.
Right.
Just that technique. No, I'd probably do kind of what they did in those days, which is, you just kind of use the army to keep the peasants in line. Like
Fair
I
enough.
said, make an example of them, run them up on a pike or hang them from a wall, like Handmaid's Tale,
Yeah, well, there you go.
That'll learn them.
Brutal justice.
Yep.
Or maybe not justice.
That's why I'm Brian the Tyrannical. That's, it's just a T-Rex on my...
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely thinking luxurious furs.
Sure, of course.
Of course. You have to wear luxurious, because they have to respect the position.
Yeah, right, of course.
And luxurious furs will do that.
Yeah.
And then, I'm just going to go for really nice ball peen hammer on a rope.
I like that it's on a rope. You're not just like, I'm going to use a ball peen hammer.
Like a silk rope. Like a legit cool rope.
Okay, so is the rope for retrieving the hammer, or is it just to wrap around your hand so it doesn't get away from you, kind of?
Well, that and retrieve it, and
Okay.
If I got to choke a bitch out.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because sometimes bitches like silk ropes around their neck.
I've heard. I'm on Twitter. I'm fully aware.
And it's got to be a nice ball peen hammer.
Well, you're the king.
Yeah.
The finest.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got it's
finest.
like jewel encrusted and
it's inlaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a hammer will keep the peasants in line fine.
That's probably true. It's just picture the army's always bringing the people to you, and you just enact all the violence rather than having, an executioner carry it out.
Right.
Like you're actually like, no, I want to get my hands dirty.
Like, no, you have no idea how much I love swinging this hammer.
Right. It's like, no, you never saw me play Halo. I'm okay with wet works.
Like, have you seen the silk rope on it?
Right. Like you're going to let someone else handle your silk rope.
Exactly, right?
Come on.
Like, jeez. I paid extra for the silk rope. Like, I'm going to use one of those ropes that peasants use to hold their pants up.
Right. So your silk rope is basically the geek strap for your hammer.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I'm just picturing you sitting on your throne and it's hanging around your neck,
Oh, well, for sure. Like a pimp pendant in my luxurious robes.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously it's been cleaned off because you don't want to stain your luxurious robes, of course.
Oh, of course not.
That'd
be a goddamn shame.
Right. I'm sure you have a robe that you wear, a luxurious robe you wear while, enacting ball peen justice.
Oh, no, it's just the furs and that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, totally nude and then luxurious furs.
So when you're doing that, you just take the fur off so you don't stain it, or?
Well, they gotta know who the king is, right?
I just like you just sitting around like you're in your bathrobe all the time, basically.
Yeah, basically, but it's fur.
Yeah. You stand up, never, and obviously it's never tied.
Well, of course not.
And you sit wide-legged.
Oh yeah, man spreading
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually good. What happens? It kind of makes me think of the Big Lebowski if he was a king.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, man, the fact I got to beat you with this hammer's a real bummer. But he left me no choice, man.
what are you going to do? Oh, man. All right. Well, I think we've got a show, my friend.
Well, yeah. So, yeah. Well, if you're a king, how do you keep the peasants in line?
Show me what you got.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a program, huh?
Yeah, I think so. So,
yeah, perfect.
Go visit us over at saltylanguage.com, where you can click on all the links that from the show, from this episode. You can see past episodes. You can check out the enthusiasts that we've done. You can see the networks we're part of, like Tangent Bound Network, the Geek Life Radio playlist, and
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Also, while you're on our website, we'd appreciate it greatly if you use Amazon to click on the Amazon link. And if you're going to be shopping on Amazon, I should say, because Christmas is right around the corner.
Oh, for sure.
So buy all your gifts through Amazon, but go to saltylanguage.com first. Click the Amazon link. Then it takes you to Amazon like normal. It doesn't cost you anything extra. And, they chip off a little something, so we don't have to grind as hard.
Yeah, exactly. The grind.
Also, while you're there, if you'd like to help out the show, we have a link to our Patreon there where we have various rewards tiers or whatever, for different amounts pledged. Or you can just pledge one-time amount, and then once it's taken, remove it from there and make us sad, but that's okay.
Super duper sad.
Super sad, yeah. But we'd appreciate that if anyone helps that way. Also, if you're using iTunes, please rate, review, and subscribe. That helps us move up in the search features and on the lists and whatnot. And if you're using other podcast apps, please use the like and share options or whatever they have like that for the same reason. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else on the website? I mean, I know we got the social media stuff there too, of course.
I think that's pretty much it. That's the real important shit.
If you want to contact the show, please hit us up on Twitter at salty_language. Real quick, if you're going to be answering the Q of the W, if you reply to our post, cool. If you're posting just on your own to us, please use hashtag Q of the W.
Makes our lives so much easier.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Stunami.
I am on Twitter at Monotony. Oh my God, dog. Get your fucking floppy face out of here. You can also find the show on Snapchat, salty_language, although that's becoming like more of a my Snapchat kind of thing now.
Fair enough.
Because I'm pushing the Instagrams.
Yep.
Salty Language on Instagram.
Yeah, you can find
Follow
me.
us.
You can find me on Snapchat at Ninjitsu if you'd like to. Yeah, definitely check us out on Instagram. Tony's been crushing it with posts lately. So
trying to post all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And then some.
Yep. And if you want just like our Snapchat codes, they're on the website also.
Yes, that as well.
Very convenient like. I feel like we're forgetting something on... I mean, we're on Facebook too, but whatever. If you want to check us out on Facebook, the link's on the website. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
I believe so. Oh, man.
I really feel like I'm forgetting something. Somebody's probably yelling at their device right now. Like, well, you idiot! Like when we're watching cooking shows.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, man. So, I guess have a beer, you'll be fine.
Hey, man. Stay salty.
Keep grinding it out.
Just gotta grind it, cause y'all little bitches.